Well, what's going on, guys? 5:07 p.m. Yeah, it's still Mother's Day, the 14th of May, 2023. We're in John City, Roseman, California. Holy crap. Something I never even thought about, and it scares the hell out of me because I thought this was just a fluke. They got an actual movement out there. I was watching a clip on YouTube, MSNBC, and they were showing something about a constitutional sheriff's movement to actually subverts democracy. Now, you guys have heard about Sheriff Haro from Maricopa County several years back during the Trump election cycle, the first one that came out, and how this guy was running in Arizona County like he was king of the county. Apparently, ultimate power goes to the badge holder, and worse, that he was saying that no one else was above him because he was sheriff. That's the ultimate authority that he knows, guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States of America. And they got a movement going on for past God knows maybe I don't know. But apparently some of the red states are picking up on that too. There was an Illinois governor having an issue um, over an 80 plus sheriffs concerned about certain laws being passed. Now, when Illinois was getting its ass kicked by the AR-15s and they wanted to do something about it, and the governor signed a law to ban or limit the sales on these damn things, the sheriff's department said, no, we're not going to do that. Elected county officials in different counties, elected by the people, said no, they're going to disobey the laws, including banning the AR-15s, according to what I've been monitoring on Velshi. But I've also just did a quick search on YouTube, and my God, it's almost just as bad as watching maggots. Because there are other states having the same county sheriffs, elected sheriffs, refusing to follow laws and thinking they're the ultimate authority in their counties. That they have the ultimate authorities to overrule the U.S. Constitution that they swore an oath to. But they also swore an oath to protect their states and their counties. But this isn't the Wild Wild West. This is fucking insane. I mean, this is the ultimate insanity I've ever seen before in my life. I have never seen something this crazy, this insane, to where we have law enforcement officers who are supposed to protect and serve the public. Well, at least for some of the agencies that keep swearing to that little ditty there. But they're picking up the ultimate power gig. It's like they're going back to the medievalism. The sheriffs were in charge of their own territory, and nobody else but the king could overrule them. But it got to the point where they said, screw it. The king is not important. We are. We're the ones in charge. These are our lands. Well, that's the same fucking mind, pardon my language, but this is the same mindset I'm seeing right now as it is. And I thought Araparo was just a blip. I didn't expect this guy to be part of the Oath Keepers. Part of the Oath Keepers just went to jail because of sedition against the Constitution, against our government. So now we got to question our own elected officials even harder and hope to God they don't put us in jail and violate civil rights, because they probably won't. They probably won't. Um, they won't obey the government. They won't obey the U.S. government. This is scary. This is terrifying. Happening in my time in different states that I probably never will go into now. I won't travel outside the borders to California because I don't know if I'm going to be picked up by some renegade cop or some renegade sheriff who thinks that his authority is the highest above the Constitution, above our civil rights, about our Bill of Rights, about everything else. This makes me more and more concerned. How about terrified at this point? Congratulations, guys. You just graduated from democracy into terrorism, into being a terrorists. Autocratic societies. My God, we have gone dystopian. Think about it. Over the past 30 years, how far has our government system's been cracking down? Of course, a lot of people have been saying it's been happening over for a long ass time. It's one thing when we had the colonies starting up and we had the sheriffs or the London Redcoats. But when we gained our independence and our freedom, we had to get our own sheriff's department in different towns to uphold law and order. But I hadn't remembered reading in any history books or hearing anything else during those days that the sheriffs had ultimate authority above the law that they served. Getting out to the Wild Wild West in different regions and different territories. Well, robber barons maybe, with enough money filtering into the pockets of law enforcement. They could pay for their own private armies and run people out if they wanted to. Control certain mining towns just for profit. What's the move for these constitutional sheriffs? What's the reason? Power and ego. Power and ego. When we have sheriffs duly elected by the people of their territories, of their counties, of their states, to uphold laws, to protect and serve the public that they were not that they were sworn to do so. And now we got them turning against the public. We just unleashed monsters without us realizing it. Even under a democracy, we're under siege. We have autocracy trying to seep in everywhere, apparently. I mean, I'm looking at just a few videos I haven't even seen, just some of the captions I did on YouTube. I just typed in constitutional sheriff. I didn't expect to see a lot of videos from different television news organizations out there, local areas, doing little clips here and there, maybe 2 or 3 minutes at a time, and talking about the situations, about about the sheriffs will enforce and what they won't enforce. Constitutional. How the hell does that work? Is it following under the Second Amendment? Was somewhere written in the lines of the Constitution mentioning about a constitutional sheriff's powers? Nothing. We talked about the executive branch. We talked about the judicial branch. We sure as hell talked a lot about the legislative branch at this point over here. And nowhere in the Bill of Rights was mentioning concerning about the powers of the constitutional sheriff. It was mentioned concerning about states having implied rights, meaning they would be having experimentations to write their own laws in their own territories, but it would be up to the states to have their own law enforcement to maintain it. But my question is, how does a sheriff get constitutional rights to overrule the Constitution they just swore to protect and the country and people and stuff. How does this work? Is money all that you love? Or is it the power trip that you got in your head? A badge says it all? No, the badge is just a symbol of the office that you just swore an oath to do a job. You're supposed to be the enforcers of law and order, of the elected laws of your communities, of your state, of the federal government. I mean, if you are supposed to be um, a local constable, then that's your area. But you also have the state to worry about. And when it comes down for federal laws, you always have to get the federal into the situation to take care of the federal matters. So what's been taught to us all these years? The federal government will step in regarding the federal laws and do the prosecutions and take care of the cases like that. You can catch them for that and put them in the jail temporarily until the paperwork is sorted out. Is it a county? Is it a state? Is it a federal crime? And that bumps it up to different departments left and right. That bumps it up to the different bureaucracies going on. But how does the sheriff get something like constitutional democracy in my territory? I am God. Even God is below me because I have the ultimate power of a shield here. And I have been elected by the people. They will serve me. I am above the Constitution of the United States within my little territory over here. So now we are talking about, as I said before, fiefdoms, little kingdoms, little kingdoms. In the United States of America, we're supposed to be a representative democracy. We have autocracy. We have autocracy. This is going to take me some time to research all this damn shit. This is just for me venting at this point over here, but I swear to God, if we're going to be getting in this kind of situation where the sheriffs seem to have all the damn power, how the hell are we going to be taking the power away? We could try doing constitutionally. We're going to have to make some amendment changes to the federal, but this has to be done in the county and local. This has to be done in the county and the states. If they can't get their dead asses on this one, then they just created something that destroys democracy. They think they wanted to uphold democracy. They just destroyed it by having power-hungry maniacs in there, creating their own kingdoms and their own local law enforcement, their own army, so to speak, their own military. Seditionists going against government. It's no wonder Aparo got his ass kicked out of Arizona in that election. He got his ass kicked out of his county seat because he had that mentality. He was abusing his authority left and right. And people said, screw it, you're not getting into it. Are the sheriff's department in those territories going to be also limiting people's right to vote? Closing down polling places, only making them available. Oh, you got the right to vote. You just don't have the ability to go out and vote. You have the right. But you're going to be voting for him back in office, aren't you? It's bad enough they got gerrymandering going on. And now we got constitutional sheriffs. For how long? Maybe over the past of my lifetime, maybe? I'm 57. I hadn't seen anything or heard anything like this growing up as a kid. But now, holy crap, we have got too much shit happening these days. How are we supposed to handle all this damn crap? Unfrickin' believable.